Hello, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're watching this on another day, happy every day. Every day is love day. Welcome. We've got some dreadlocks here. Don't judge me, all right? Hair's getting so long that when I go on a hike, it gets all knotted. If anyone has any tips or tricks to navigate long hair, holy, it's not going well for me, but no judgment, you guys, all right? Love me. We're human. We just came from a hike, and I am so excited. I couldn't wait to have this call with Alexandra today. It sounds weird to call her Alexandra. I'm just going to call her Alex. Alex is my longest client ever. Alex, I don't know if you know that because I know you're on live right now, but you are my longest client ever. And at some point, I feel like you either no longer become a client or you just simply become soul family. And Alex is soul family to me. When the Great Merge came through in 2023, it felt like Alex and I were on the same wave, vibrationally, spiritually, about what the work was. And Alex has been at every single Great Merge, contributing in every single Great Merge, and has had some really wild contributions. In full transparency, I feel that Alex and her presence in the Great Merge is imperative for the work that we do, and the insights that she has, and the gifts that she's able to bring to the space. And that makes me really excited to have her here today. On a completely different, kind of similar, but different note, Alex has also been a part of the Sovereign Healer since the inception of the Sovereign Healer. So she was in what was known as OAG, Open Ascend Guide, in the 2022 cohort, the first time it was ever rolled out. And now Alex is in the mastermind, is becoming a future teacher in the Sovereign Healer methodology, and is a teacher in the university, and is also a part of, obviously, the school. So it's just amazing to be able to have her presence here today, because I feel her context. Everyone's circumstances who've been live with me is amazing, but Alex has this added layer of experience for years inside of the Sovereign Healer way, inside of her spiritual development and growth. And so I think she's going to be able to offer a lot of value in a different way than others thus far. So I'm really excited to have Alex here today, and I hope that this provides you insight. Alex what can't Alex do? Alex is a visual artist by heart. She has designed the Great Merge cover for a future book coming. So in the future, when you see the Great Merge, the crystalline archives of the Great Planetary Merge book, you will know that Alexandra Tulski designed that. So she's a designer. She works in the corporate space. She is a extraordinary dream, I don't even know how to explain it, dream weaver, messenger of dreams. She's able to decode and understand dreams and the symbology and the metaphors. She receives prophetic messages in the dream time. And that is such a cool gift to be able to talk about the development of, and to be able to add into the Sovereign Healer toolkit, because so many people have really wild experiences in the dreams they're dreams that they usually kind of don't know what to do with. Alex is the person that you come to. And so on that note, Alex, if you could request to go live with me. I hope I did a good intro for you, because I love you with everything I am, and I'm so excited to have you here today. And I think everybody's going to be really pumped to see what's about to come today.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Yes. So totally different now.
Hello there, madame.
Hello.
I love that we both had hot mess days, but here for the greater good, to talk about your experience inside of the Sovereign Healer, inside of the last few years of the Sovereign Healer development, and really where you're at. So let's see, what feels best to start with? Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about the first experience you had in OAG in 2022? I think that's a good introduction into everything. Like,
Yeah.
where were you at? What called you to the school in the beginning? And what was it like for you then?
Okay. So in the beginning, the first round, I'm going to be completely transparent. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I just felt like I needed to explore that. So when I enrolled, and I think at that point it was like 16 people or something, I think. And it was I guess it was the first time that I could acknowledge back to myself that, oh, there is something else out there. um, it was the first time I ever tried meditation. Yeah, I know that the curriculum changed quite a bit since then. And it was the first time I like heard things in meditation before, like melodies or sounds or music. First time I tried like doing artwork in meditation, and that was interesting as well because messages clearly came through that medium. But it feels like it was so long ago that I don't even recognize the person who I was back then.
Yes.
And it was, are you? I think it was 2021, to be honest.
Well,
Um,
I launched I launched it at the end of 2021. So the first
yeah.
cohort would have been like into 2022.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That felt like, yeah, it feels like forever ago. So from what I remember and what I recall, it was the first time for many, many things for me.
Yes.
I've had always like inclinings of like what are the things that I experience. But so, I guess OAG was the first time that I was like, oh shit, this is real. To be honest, yeah.
You share that too, because I also feel like you had these moments that you're having now, but like they never really manifested into anything.
Yeah.
Like they never got further than like, oh, I can do this, and like I can do this, and I've got this. And now
Yes.
it's like there's an entire kind of mission and blueprint that you can now serve from, which feels kind of different than the 2022 cohort.
Yeah. So I kind of, to what you're saying, I feel like in the beginning it was more like confirming to myself, but it wasn't really like doing anything with it. It was like, oh, okay, wow. And then now it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
And what is it going to look like? And are you just going to say, whoa, wow, and walk away? Can you even go back? I don't think you can go back. But it did take me some time in my own personal development to accept it and digest it and sit with it and understand it, and then understand how it fits with my life. Because I feel like for a while it was like, that's that thing over there. Don't talk about it. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. But now I'm like, but that is a part of me. So how do I incorporate it? And how do I incorporate it in a way that makes sense for me?
This reminds me of the conversation we had at the Merge in Athens, Greece.
Yeah.
And you sat me down and you had your credit card in your hand and you were like, I'm going to do this. But I'm doing this because I want to understand how it all together. I want to be able to merge really me. And
yes.
Walk me through well, for those of you who are listening, we're now 6 months into the Sovereign Healer Mastermind, and school. You have taken the curriculum in January of 2024 cohort, and then you joined the mastermind in September 2024 cohort.
Yeah.
So you had that kind of curriculum already, but now you're in the one-on-one experience with that coaching and the mastermind. So talk to me about your process, because like you said, it felt like it was over here, and then you were living life. Like what is your process? How have things shifted for you?
Okay. So what I began to like kind of integrate was how do I take the learnings and the teachings and some of the methodology and interpret it in my everyday
Yes.
life. And then I started to realize, oh shit, all, all of this, it's like just different language, same thing, same kind of things that you deal with at work or with other relationships or whatever it might be. You still need to, you know, have boundaries. You still need to protect yourself. You still need to protect your own energy. Understand that other people have different types of energy, right? There's so much from the, and also I have to say that the curriculum changed to focus on that safety piece of it, and so that really like it went from okay this thing, but now with all of those aspects, it elevated it to a next level. And so with that, I was able to really integrate it, understand it, and see how in context it applies to my life.
Yeah.
And so in going into the mastermind, that gave me the opportunity to see other people who are also going through very similar situations. They also have their day jobs, or they may not have their day jobs. They have their own businesses that they're working through, and just getting the chance to be around others who are also going through things like this is, I don't know if you could put a price on that. And I feel like bringing the minds together is a way to, it almost like makes you feel like it's like a team. Does that make sense? Like they're a team. And if you have, if you're experiencing, let's say you're experiencing one of the chakras, like throat chakra or something, I'm like, hey guys, I'm going through this problem right now. What do you guys recommend, or how might I work through this? This part of the throat deals with being able to speak up, being able to share your truth. Even this live right now, you know.
Yep.
And you experience those things at work, you experience those things with friends, with your relationships, a plethora of other places, right? So I think that in the mastermind, you get to dive deeper and really understand the mechanics and the background of these different pieces and modalities that we go through.
Yes. Yes. I love that the relational aspect of the mastermind has allowed you to be able to see your experience through other people. And I feel like in that it's helped you see yourself. Are you a projector?
I am. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
So much how
Makes sense now.
I'm like, I feel like I always attract projectors. So they're like, I like her, I do it like me, you know? And then what I'm gathering from what you're sharing is that having a sacred space or a space with other people who are, one, clean vibrations, two, on a track of wanting to truthfully, on a sincere level, learn how to completely trust gifts that they've been given, and be able to explore that within a safe environment with others has allowed you to really see yourself and see how this infuses into, one, you still working in a, you know, in a position, working online, working with a team that's ultimately not the end all be all for you, but it is now. And yet still being able to kind of accelerate your gifts at a speed that feels, I suppose, more quickening because you have the relational aspect of the mastermind.
Yes, 1000%. Yes, because there's things that you can ask with your peers, and like, have you experienced this weird thing before, or how do I use like crystals, for example, or everyone has their gifts and everyone has their like that specialty that they have, right? And in a group, you get all the specialties, and so you get access to learning and sharing with others who might be more well-versed in one thing, another might be well-versed in another thing. And that just expands what I would call connections in your mind. So it almost expands your consciousness and expands your, I guess, your vocabulary, your toolkit, whatever it might be. It's just a way to continue to expand. Because as you go through life, there's going to be so many different scenarios and so many different things that you encounter. It's important to connect with others, and I think that the mastermind really helps you develop that.
So walk me through then where you're at inside of the mastermind right now. You have been having some pretty significant breakthroughs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And based on what feels in integrity for you, based on where you are at, tell me about some of the revelations you've been having about the type of work that you do,
Mhm.
the uniqueness of it, and how you use those gifts to help others.
So that is a loaded question, but okay, so let me think. I would say that in self-discovery, I'll just pick one here. For example, I started off in OAG doing like meditation artwork, right?
Yes.
And at that point, it was very.
What that is for people, so if they don't know.
Oh, yes. So basically, a meditation artwork is you go into meditation like you would normally, but instead of me closing my eyes, I just kind of keep them open. And you call in your higher self. Obviously, you do all the prep work. Don't just go willy-nilly. And, you just start to kind of like see what comes forward. And then you just start going, and like if there's different colors or there's different, like maybe you hear different words, you just kind of develop the artwork based off of what comes up first. And it's not about like thinking about something where normally if you're drawing, you would just, I want to draw a horse. I'm going to draw the horse, right? This is more like allowing what wants to come through and placing it on paper, basically. Then there's the aspect of, okay, well, how does this get translated for like somebody else? So if you're doing a reading, for example, where you might want to connect with another individual and just see how their energy is reading, I would invite in their higher self to co-create this artwork with me. And what that would look like, you prep your space, you do the same meditation, and then you start to basically call them forward in your mind. And connect with them. And then same thing, you just kind of see what comes forward as you paint. And what I've found, which is fascinating, is that it almost is like each piece of artwork is like an energy signature. And they usually come with a message, which is fascinating and really cool. And it's always seemingly something like that they need to hear at that moment. And it's oftentimes tied to them remembering their truth. And I think that's really something very special.
Yes.
And so from there, that's what I was doing way back in 2021 when I got into all this. And then now I've gone through a couple of different like other like retreats and things of that nature. And I've learned about like sacred geometry and things of that nature. And so now I'm trying to incorporate more to the artwork that comes forward to see like if I'm able to pull like a geometric shape from whatever it is that is coming forward. Am I able to see more than just the surface level, right? How much deeper can I get with the artwork for this individual? And then see where that leads. Did I answer your question?
Oh, question. I'm so glad that I did not allow that to be glazed over, because that gift and ability is absolutely stunning. It's, and also I've had one done, and gosh, it was so, and even then it took my breath away with the depth that you were able to provide. It felt like seeing myself. And things like the validation, the confirmation, the thank you that I received from the image felt like I was seeing my higher self in real time. Or that had been lingering, but it hadn't completely landed. There's something so profound about your gift of being able to give somebody something physical that they could,
Mhm.
print out, frame in their home, and like keep in their workspace. And so,
Yes.
yes, this absolutely makes sense. And I think for anyone who's listening, who's called to different forms of art, not just sitting, channeling, or using tarot, or coming through your crown chakra and only being delivered in one way.
Mhm.
Alex is such a beautiful example of how the sovereign healer can diversify what is already here for you, without limiting what is already naturally a part of your gifts.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. And one thing that I might add to that is that I found that when I go and revisit like a past client's artwork, I always feel like the message that I provided them is very strong, and it always comes back to either it goes deeper, or there's like, oh, the remembrance of the piece is quite significant. And yeah, I think it's special. Like, do you want a horse drawing, or do you want something that's special to you?
That is what I want to highlight. The example you're using as a horse could be, do you want just something that's generic, that's always been done before? Do you want a three-card spread where someone tells you you have a two of wands, or do you want someone to channel a piece of artwork that literally shows you riding the horse with the wands in your hands? It's like, do you
Yeah.
want something that fully represents your soul? That is what Alex provides. And now
Mhm.
there's a whole other iteration of you. And this has been something that you and I have been trying to work on over the years, for many years, which is your ability to be able to decode dreams.
Yes. Okay.
Get
Yep.
a lot of messages in the dream time, has for a long time.
Yep.
And walk me through this journey of like, am I just like dreaming like normal people, or like, why do I constantly have remembered dreams that weave into something, that tap into something bigger?
Yeah. So I will say, big asterisks. I know that there's all kinds of different dreams. Like, I still have the dreams where your teeth fall out. Everybody has those dreams, okay? But then there's all kinds of category of dreams. So big asterisks, that still happens. Maybe you're stressed out. But then there's this other category of dreams that come through that for a long time, well, I mean, I'm like, well, what the heck was that about? Why is it like a reoccurring theme? Or why am I going back to a very specific place that I've never been in person or have ever seen in pictures or anything like that? Why, metaphorically speaking, there's dreams that come through metaphorically speaking that mean something, but usually like those things either mean something for a collective group of people, or they mean something for me that I'm walking through in my current life, right? And I think maybe not until this past year, I really started to think about it more so, and like I started to really do a better job of writing it down, drawing a sketch, deciphering it. I've kind of developed a way, unknowingly to me, like a process of how I go through it, just to kind of piecemeal together, okay, these symbols always mean this thing to me and have always mean this thing. It might be different than what you read in like online. You Google, hey, what does a tooth mean? Or what does this mean, right? It might be completely different from that. So it's also kind of nuanced into the individual, but the only way that you're going to be able to know that is if you diligently write it down and then kind of like look at it over time to see like, what are the themes that keep coming up, right? Now, when it comes to dreams that are, let's say I have a dream and then, oh shit, like a couple days later it happens type of dreams. Those are the ones that are a little bit like, well, what do you do with that? Or how do you know? Or what am I supposed to do? And those, like, I've kind of feel there's a lot of responsibility, I think, on those types of dreams. Some might say they're a little bit on the prophetic side. Others might think they're premonition side, whichever term or whatever you want to call it. I would say, you know, the way I usually kind of look at it is if it's about somebody I know, I usually kind of just check in with them to see, hey, how are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Because a lot of the times it is relevant right then and there. Other times, just checking in on someone saves them from something else happening. That's what I want to say about that one. And then there's obviously my whole journey really came about because I decided one day, I'm going to figure out what this place I'm visiting is. So my whole journey into even connecting, like, before you was, okay, I always had dreams about what people would call Lemuria or Atlantis or places like that, or maybe they were like kind of Greek looking places. And honestly, I've never been there, don't know what that's about. So I just started going down a rabbit hole of, can I fit a picture that is similar to what I saw? And if so, what does it mean and where is it going to lead me? And doing that led me to the book that I gifted you. And so this was really interesting because I guess if I never would have decided, hey, I'm going to figure this out, I wouldn't be here today. I think I said a lot without really going into too much detail, but yeah.
I
yeah.
highlighted that there are many different types of dreams, and that you essentially have access, to all of them. Prophetic, premonition type, past life type, right? You've seen a lot, potential even parallel universes, different timelines of the collective going on. And what I'm gathering from what you've shared is you had a lot of dreams to the point that maybe, you didn't fully know what to do with them or knew what to make of them. And it wasn't until you had that moment of like, my soul's kind of urging me to like, not just think, oh, my teeth are falling out kind of dreams, but really go, maybe there's something deeper here.
Yes.
And led you to recognize that there was weaving that was happening in your dreams between different dimensions and different timelines. There was information that was predetermining things that could happen to others. There were messages about the collective that you had access to. And from what I'm gathering from your perspective here, the curiosity of staying open and then the actuality of like, I'm gonna do something about what I'm seeing has led you to go, I receive messages in the dream time.
Past loved ones would come through and basically tell me what happened to them, and or like basically what they felt like going through to the other side. I mean, that's actually the most, like, if that's the most reassuring, those are the most reassuring dreams, because you're like, oh, you can't make that shit up. And those have been like the most special to me in my life, also because like they may be individuals that I've been really close to, and it feels like closure, and it has brought closure to many of my family members. So
because you've shared it with them, like when you received some of these messages, you said, hey, this person came through in the dreams, and it was sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. I said I was going to say that I do have other relatives that also receive in the dream time, and so it's also reassuring to get their feedback too.
Do you have any feedback that's beneficial for anyone who's listening? Like, what sort of feedback did your lineage give you about receiving?
Well, let's see. Well, when it comes to like loved ones and things of that nature, even actually, I should take a step back. Earlier when I said when it comes to like maybe premonition type dreams, their advice there was just, maybe you don't want to tell them what you saw exactly. Maybe you want to reach out to them. So actually, we always reach out to each other And sometimes we're like, why are you calling me? Did you have a dream? It's out of the blue. What happened here?
Then it's on my teeth. Am I okay?
Yeah.
Huh.
So there's that. But it's kind of funny because once you start talking about it, you're like, oh yeah. But so there's that. And then also when it comes to past loved ones, that's the one where we like get into stories. We're like, okay, but what did they mean?
Mm.
Oh, you know what? This is what they mean. This has happened here, here, here. And then we start uncovering the mystery. And then that's where it gets really interesting. I think it's a way to open dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes families are so closed until something like a death happens.
Yes.
And I think that's really, really special. Now that it's come to my head, into my mind, that it brings people together and gets families talking. And that is incredibly important.
I love that you're sharing this because in my lineage, my Nona, so my dad's mom, had a death experience. And she saw the light, saw her dad, said to God, I'm not ready to go, experienced everything leading up to the choice of death.
Mm-hmm.
And she is still presently here. And everyone told her she was crazy when she tried to talk about seeing the light. when I started my awakening and I was talking about dead people and beings, she really confided in me to be able to talk about her near-death experience. And I book, it's the book about the afterlife. It's this hypnotherapist who brings people into
past or
say it again.
Is it like past souls or past lives or something like that? Consciousness.
Something souls.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. Man, I know. I could picture the front of the book. It's blue with white.
Blue and white.
Yep.
Right. Not untethered soul, but it's giving you that. Okay. It's gonna come on the tip of our tongue later. I bet you.
Brian Weiss is the author.
Oh.
Brian Weiss. If anybody's out there.
Okay. Well, I digress. She read the book and was like so validating for me, and then has been sharing with me that, you know, her mom, who's passed now, has been, you know, making herself known and helping her, you know, find things around the home, and just kind of commenting on what you've shared, how healing it is lineage to have others that have had these experiences who don't know where to turn to because maybe other people think that they're crazy. It's beautiful to be able to have, you know, an olive branch in your family that has these beautiful gifts as well, that, you know, chose maybe to totally explore it, but to be to converse about it now. So I'm curious how healing for you to be able to have relationships with your lineage and to choose to open up these gifts for yourself.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, you know, all families are not perfect, right? But in this chat now, I'm realizing when it comes to weird things like this, weird quote unquote, they make it so normal. Like, oh, that happens to me too, and I'm like, well, you never talk about it. What the heck? It is healing because I have an aunt. She lives in Chicago, and she would always I would confide in her. Oh, yeah, I had this dream over here. Like, what do you think? And she'd be like, oh, Mija, it's okay, you know. And then she goes on a tangent about how she used to have dreams of, I'm just gonna say it out loud. I hope you're not out there, but she like dreamt that who she was gonna marry, and she had this dream where she saw her now husband, and she's like, nah, I'm not gonna marry that guy. Lo and behold, like 10 years later, she ends up marrying that guy. And she's like, my dream came true. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. What?
No understanding of who that guy was at all.
She probably like had met him. If I recall, she had met him before, but there was never like a love connection or anything like that. It's super out of left field. Because she even told me, she was like, she really liked this other guy. And I was like, okay, but that didn't work out. Wow. So that's really interesting. I've experienced the same thing in my life. Like, Josh would probably be like, kill me if I said this. But like, even before I started dating my now husband, I had this dream where he was gonna like do all these things, which I'm not gonna name, but like work stuff. And then all of a sudden he's going to propose to me. And I was like, oh fuck, what the hell does this mean? And then I was like, what's going on here? I barely met this person I was just broken up with from a very serious relationship. And then he wanted to be my boyfriend for Valentine's Day, which is Valentine's Day now. And then I was like, nope, no, I gotta have a couple of days. I rejected him.
Wait, have that dream, and then he asked you out on the date, basically.
I had the dream. 3 days later, he asked me out to be his girlfriend on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
And I said no, because that dream freaked me out. Like severely. I was like, what the fuck does this mean? Oh my God. I can't tell anybody this. Yeah.
Been with you for a long time, and now it's not that you didn't understand the value of it before, but that you understand the responsibility that comes with it. And now
there's a lot of responsibility.
And now you're using your free will to be able to explore it. And not only is it healing amazing parts of your lineage where now you have these different allies in your bloodline, but also you exploring this as, when we're moving into the sovereign healer, and you're going to be teaching this and helping other people who have nightmares or different attacks in their dreams, or, recurring messages, you now have the experience to be able to help people decode it.
Yes. Yep.
People have wild dreams that they don't know. And so it's so beautiful that you've trusted this part of your gift and your mission. And I think there's just so much more of this that's going to come, because in the astral, there's a whole other war that's happening in the astral, and it's going to be able to contribute to it. So now I would love to hear someone who is interested in joining the school, the mastermind, the university. What sage advice do you have for anybody who might be curious?
Ooh. First and foremost, if you have an inclination of like, that's interesting to me, I really feel something like a pull in your heart, in your stomach, some sort of like I don't know how to describe it, but then not a like, oh, I'm interested, but more like, what is this thing? What is it making me feel? Like a certain fuzzy feeling. Follow that feeling. Like, if this interests you, if the sovereign healer methodology, the school interests you, just go for it. Nobody has anything to lose, really. Like, you only live life once. And so to fully experience what your gifts are in a safe way with a whole lot of other people, where else are you going to get that chance? So take a chance on yourself. And I think you're going to be thoroughly surprised. You're going to get way more out of going with your truth and your feeling than just waiting on the sidelines to figure it out yourself.
If you could give me one word, to describe what taking that chance and following that pull has given you, what would that word be? You can use a few if you need to.
Okay. One word, not a few.
Well, Grace.
I feel like it actually is a couple things. So for me, I feel like,
I do it.
as you know, I was a little bit apprehensive. I was like, oh, but now that I'm on the other side of it, I feel like I can breathe deeper now. I feel like there was this unspoken thing that I couldn't quite couldn't quite understand, that now I'm like, oh, that's the thing. Oh, shit, okay. So if I had to pick one word, I guess it would be breathe. If I were to pick another word, it would be freedom. Yeah.
See, I knew you had a few more words in you. I knew. I knew.
Breath, freedom, a release, expansion.
That is stunning. One, I think you're such an intelligent woman, like such an amazing person, woman, partner. I have such a deep respect for you. So that's part of it. But then to hear how you use language, that's like, you know, when a dog gets scratched in the right spot.
Yeah.
No, it's scratched my brain in the right spot. Yeah, that encapsulates it, because it, from what I know about your journey, it feels like the goal of being able to understand yourself.
Yeah.
Finally locked in. And now I think we're in such a beautiful place, because you're having these beautiful breakthroughs inside of the mastermind, and the breakthroughs take time to see where they go, you know, and we're kind of sitting with it and going, whoa, that was a lot, in a great way. Let's see how the other truths align. I think, and let me know if this resonates with you, I think the next iteration is with you being a teacher inside of the Sovereign Healer way moving forward, being able to have other people, projector, that can show you, you know, different things that you can respond to and reflect and really be in your genius. I think that's like the next iteration for you, is taking what you know and being able to amplify it into a greater service for others. I think that's kind of like the next feeler that I have. What do you feel?
I totally agree. I think, well, as you're saying, you know, projectors, they kind of see themselves through others. And I feel like it feels like it's like this unspoken collaborative process where you see others doing something, you're like, yes, and then you're like, let me do it this way. What do you think? And so by seeing others in their process, which is, in my humble opinion, really fucking cool, you are like an expansioner. Does that make sense? Like, and when everyone is expanding, it only like crescendos into something even greater. But you have to have the opportunity to do that. So you got to put yourself in those places, right? So no, that's kind of how I see it.
I love you so much.
Oh.
Like, you and I were blue beings putting crystals into the earth a few lifetimes, and now
that was, wasn't it?
Really, now here we are. I feel our relationship has grown into its dharma in such a gorgeous way, where we're like in power meets power and gift meets gift. The collaboration is so meaningful to me in my life. So thank you for being here to just offer your feedback and your wisdom, but really to share your gifts. And you have such unique, rich, like technicolored gifts that I think anyone who feels called to listen to your journey is just going to find so much resonance, and going outside of the box of how other people have used their, and yet it losing no impact and only growing in validity and strength and confidence through the Sovereign Healer way. So do you have any final words? Do you feel complete? What's going on with you?
No final words. Is that true? No. I would say that I just want to end it with like, if I really want to emphasize, if you're someone out there who's like, oh, I have these things, whatever they might be, I don't know what it is, please give yourself a chance. Yeah, give yourself a chance.
And, you know, nothing in my experience has filled that hole in me that wants to know why I'm here than sitting my own butt in meditation and learning these techniques and having these breakthroughs that no one can take away from me. You know, so the world wants to take so much away from us, and the world wants to box us into like, okay, well, if you're going to be a psychic, like these are your roles. Are you this, and this? Do it like this, read like this, and your evidence of yes and, you know?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and more and different.
Yeah. Yes. But what you just said, where people want to put people in boxes because it just fits a label, fuck that noise. What the hell? I am tired of the boxes. Like, do we have to call that thing that, do we have to even call meditation meditation? Tell me. Also, when you're in a group with people who, whether it's online or in person, when you're in a group with other people, it allows you to see yourself deeper and in ways that your own family cannot help you with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is really special, especially in this kind of spaces where it might be very difficult to have this type of conversation with a family member, for example. I'm blessed because some of my family members share similar things to me. But there are people out there who are just, they don't have someone like that. So I would encourage everybody. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Alex. You're going to see a lot more of Alex into the next cohort and beyond. And I'm really glad that your wisdom gets shared, because anyone who desires to color out of the lines, I think, would be very lucky to be tutored by you and to have your reflections that says, well, what the hell's that about? We're not going to do that. Someone that's like, no, fuck that. So fun. Alex, thank you. I love you so much. For those of you who've been listening, I'm going to put all of Alex's bio stuff below so you can follow her, reach out about her artwork, and talk about dreams and all that good stuff. And I love that. The final thing I'll say is I love that there's a Sovereign Healer plug right behind us with the Sovereign Healer textbook that's right there. I love it so much. Well, okay, Alex, enjoy. Yeah. Enjoy your Valentine's Day with your actual Valentine that is now
Yes.
your husband.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. Amazing. I love you,
I
Alex.
love
I'll talk to you soon.
you too. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.